in the periphery last night because there were TVs, and so I would just kind of look over, checking, and at one point I was like very much like, what is going on? Why are the Bills at home playing as a very not good team, and it didn't all that spectacular.
But I think a lot of it, I think when you see games like that, the upset that happen is on a Thursday. Like these guys are professionals and they're used to a Thursday night game and all those. But it's almost like, to me, that is your opportunity for a team like Miami, who is struggling. I mean, and then I'm like you, Misty. Last night I'm looking at the TVs and noticed, okay, got us a ball game. In fact, I leaned over to not leaned over that, but weird. But I just talked to Zach. Hey, Zach.
I whispered in his ear, "Look what's happening to the Bills."
Hey, Zach, it's me for do that. That sounded really weird. But yeah,
had a whole mental image too.
Yeah. It was, and it was kind of a crazy game. And now the clocks are going to be on the first coach this year because they are kind of going backwards. And
they really have over the past 2 years. I mean, a couple of years ago, it looked like they were on the rise. They were flinging the ball all over the place, and then last year stepped back and rough start this year. So his seat is definitely hot.
Well, we got a huge break with the penalty on when they ran into our kicker, and so that to me really changed.
She went full-fledged, like,
are we?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, yes, right. I love the Bills. I mean, love Josh. Actually, I just love Josh Allen, so I will follow him wherever he goes.
Well, I just feel like there's probably a really good chance we need to get her a chair, like a table to, jump on.
Oh, obviously.
I want to go to a Bills game for sure, but that changed. I mean, once that happened, then it was like, oh, thank goodness we caught a break. That's how I felt in the game. Until that point, it was anybody's ball.
And it is maybe they walk away. They lose to the Patriots last week, 33-27. They lose last night, 31-21. Well, now the schedule, at least for 2 games, gets a little easier because they play the Jets and then they play the Panthers. So maybe they can, but then they go Chargers. I mean, they've actually kind of got a decent schedule to maybe get some wins. But I kind of want to look at Josh Allen. Are the Bills, and I know, and we got to say 1-2 teams in the NFL, is Buffalo the team right now that super blessed?
They're definitely for a while being disappointing. Loss in playoffs. Those 2 teams, it's like it's put up.
My thought was straight to the Ravens.
Take advantage of the fact now that the Chiefs aren't looking all that hot, is going to obviously, but then for knows how long.
A lot of injuries, a lot of people scrambling around from J.J. McCarthy, Joe Burrow, Jalen Daniels may not play this week. Justin Fields is probably not playing this week. A lot of folks down and out. For Rangers, we kind of Kershaw's made a decision. Another headline report: Kershaw's going to retire at the end of the year. Not local, but a Texas kid, went to Highland Park, so he'll be retiring. And I think another noteworthy, we've talked about them all year, well, not all. The Fever win their playoff series and are doing without Caitlin Clark.
And have some other injuries and some other really good players that are hurt too. So that fun to watch. Obviously, y'all know we've been watching. I'll make fun of him, but he's like, I don't care. They really are a fun team to watch. If I know it's not everybody's gig, but the Fever really are a fun team to watch.
Well, and I think it's funny that I bet Clay talked about the Fever like Misty does the Bills.
He does.
Yeah. We came from behind. We're really struggling since Caitlin went out. But I feel like Sophie's going to be just fine. And but I feel like once we get everybody back, no doubt, coach has got it going, and we're looking forward to tomorrow night. And
I didn't even realize I said like we are when I was talking about Josh so much.
Yeah. Well, and Josh Greer is such a great guy. But anyway, so when we come back again, that's our Lawrence Hall. On go there, get to the go find our truck for SUV. When we come back, more Hot Sports Live and everything in between.
My next one.
Let's go ahead and do it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Y'all probably two share mine, and then y'all can get these back. I would say this.
John must be
they can sit if they were.
Yeah, try not to.
Yeah, y'all don't lean in together.
And this come up, or you may just want to come down on it.
Amazing food, live music, TVs to watch your favorite live team. Make sure you
And then
have.
we want to do picture now, or do you want to just wait?
We can, okay.
Ticket events. Head out to the Tosi 897 Tosi Live experience. Hello, I believe in the big country. My name is John Keating. I'm at Disco Resources Incorporated. I'm here to tell you about our DAC business, our services,
Make sure they up on it. Yeah. Yeah.
Stacked up over the 825-232-6918. Come on out and see us at 3602 Tax Week. You'll be glad you did.
Hunter, you're playing quarterback, receiver, tight end. So, Coach will probably come to you, kind of talk about your journey, coaching wise. You know, even the process of getting the job when Corey left, and then talk about the season and. Cool. There'll be questions.
Nervous?
Where did Corey go to?
Cuero.
Oh.
Down south.
Yeah. Coordinator position?
Defensive coordinator.
You know, when you hear that, Big Country Electric My Town segment brought to you by Big Country, taking care of their members each and every day. Out of 3 offices, Roby, Snyder, and Stanford, we highlight a local player, coach, or program, and we're going to knock out all 3 today as we have joining us in studio, in our Potosi Live studio, Coach Kyle Wheeler, the head coach of the Anson Tigers, along with Malachi St. John and Hunter Tockelman. Did I say the Tockelman right, or is it?
Yes, sir.
All right, there you go. Fantastic. I'm sure you get that a lot, every different stadium with the PA announcer and all those things. But appreciate you guys taking time to come out here this morning. I know Fridays can be busy, from pep rallies to game prep to team breakfasts, all the things that happen across on a Friday. But Coach, appreciate you being here this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So Coach, you're first year head coach here at Anson. Talk a little bit about your journey in your coaching world, and kind of how you threw your name in the hat headed to golf.
Yeah, been the offensive coordinator last year for Corey, and expecting him to it was just kind of one of those deals where I didn't really want to move, and I really was enjoying the kids here in Anson and what we had going on. So I wanted to throw my hat in there and talk to Mr. Hines, and here we are.
So what was that like? Of course, you know, sometimes places you go and the head coach comes in and wants to hire his offense coordinator, defense coordinator. How beneficial was it that when you got the job, keeping people on staff, and then what was that like? You know, not necessarily getting that, like getting the staff to rally around and say, hey, not a lot of change here, and
Yeah, we go together. We go see Coach Stapp plays music. It's a pretty tight group of coaches. Being able to keep everybody,
right.
not having to hire a whole lot of coaches, made it really smooth. I think it's a lot better for our players when the coaches get to stay and they're comfortable with those coaches and what we're doing offensively and defensively, and it makes a big difference.
Well, and I think that's one of the biggest deals. You see programs, one of them's in your district. I think the reason Hawley's been able to be competitive for as long as they have, not only with athletes, but they know Coach Abels is going to be there. Coach Faith at Albany, and for the longest time, Coach Sanford at Wiley, and now Coach at Wiley. Very similar to y'all situation. Coach Martin goes from the DC to the head coach, and now that familiarity is there. So what would you say has been the biggest difference going from one headset to being on the offensive side to being on the headset of everything?
Oh, just getting to hang out a little bit more with Coach McCombs on the defensive side. I've always been an offensive coach, and so getting to go over and watch how he runs the defense and learn a little bit more of how a defensive-minded coach manages their side of the game. That's been the biggest, I guess, the guy that manages the game.
Right. So let's talk again. We got Hunter and Malachi in. Both seniors, correct?
No, sir. I'm a junior.
Okay, junior. All right, so senior Hunter?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Hunter, what has it been like? I'm not going to mention schools, but there are some schools in the area that maybe even go through having a new coach every time. You are fortunate enough to be at a place where success has been there, and Coach McCombs has done a really good job now passing the torch to Coach Wheeler and all that. What's it been like, and how beneficial has it been for you as a senior not having to learn somebody new for your senior year?
It's really good just having a good relationship with all the coaches and not have to start over again.
So what about you as a junior? I mean, obviously he brought you guys in, so it's not like he's going to bring the 2 kids he's not a big fan of, not that he had that. So you got that. So how's that been for you, getting it adjusted back to Coach Wheeler as being the guy?
Yeah, I've already had a great relationship with Coach Wheeler, and then we're not changing anything. It's the same stuff, so we get to learn it and perform it better.
And so let's talk about this year. You're 3-0 right now, and literally, if I'm 6 points. And so, Coach McCombs, son of Coach McCombs that went to Cuero, for those who are curious, it's not Corey McCombs, it's his son. So what's clicking? What's been the thing that you guys have been rolling? Obviously, again, only giving up 6 points this year, scoring a lot of points as well. What's kind of been the keys? And I know you have had a big injury that happened. We can talk about that. But kind of what have you seen? What do you like about this group?
Everything. They're fast. They're physical. We have a whole lot of experience coming back. We graduated some key players, but the guys that the core of this team with Malachi, and offensively and defensively, Malachi, Alex Lozano, Ethan Lozano, Mario Burr. We have a ton of guys that came. We graduated Fort Lane, Desi guys that were very good to every side of the ball, but we've had some guys roles and have, done a great job. And getting Malachi back, he was our leading receiver last year. Had 17, 18 sophomore. Their speed and intelligence of being able to operate what we're doing is big.
And so we talked about injury, the Fagan kid, which is that Shay's son?
It is.
Okay, so Shay and I are about the same age. And so, Hunter, you're taking on that role now, right? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So what excites you? I mean, nobody's ever excited about a teammate getting hurt. Nobody ever is. But what do you look at as now this opportunity opens up for you to kind of, again, we talked about passing the baton from Coach McCombs to Coach Wheeler. Now you're having to take on that role. What are you looking forward to, and how are you going to approach taking that role?
Just keep working every week. Easy when you have good receivers too, and
Right, there you go. Right, so Malachi, you got a new pitcher, if you will, coming out. What will that be like? And how you are out again? He's a freshman. Have a good year. Hunter, we got you. Protections. How you being the right teammate for him?
I encourage him. Being you're going to make mistakes, but keep encouraging him. And Tony God.
So have you? I didn't ask. Are you?
So our offense coordinator, we coached together 12 years ago in Seminole.
Okay.
And Hamlin boy, he coached with Coach Hagler in Anson for a while, and then also with Coach McCombs. And so I got to bring him back as the offense coordinator. So we worked together on that. The terminology has stayed the same for these guys, so that they don't have to learn something brand new. And he gets to put, his whole twist, his mind. Mine and his mind work very similar, but also see things differently. So he's in the box, I'm on the field. We get to communicate through the game. I see that, and, we roll with it. So it's a good.
So let's talk about the Tigers right here on KLGD. Is Estes still on the call? Your Coach Abels a few weeks ago. This district is probably one of the toughest in the state. There's no doubt about it. I mean, we talked about legendary coaches. Hutch back at Stanford, Coach Abels. Your schedule, you got Haskell tonight, and you go Albany, which is probably a great test as you get ready for that district. Roll it and make it, hey, one game at a time. And guys, we're good enough to compete in this district.
Yeah. We talk about these guys, we don't talk about what we try to focus on this week. We control our one thing. We talk all the time on RED, which stands for Relentless Effort Daily. And so no matter what, we're just going to go give our best effort every single play, every single rep.
So you've been, y'all grown up in Anson pretty much your whole life, you two, right? So I would think Anson Haskell kind of rivalry. How do you make sure you can't talk football and not focus too much on, man, we got to beat Haskell? How do you make sure you stay focused on beating Haskell?
You focus on your job for every play, and if you do your job there.
So will this be the first start tonight, Hunter?
Yes, sir.
So what are you excited about tonight being the guy?
That's my job. I'm gonna get it done.
All right, there you go. All right. This is the rep for you.
Breakfast, and then I'm gonna get back to class. We got an early release day today, end of the 6 weeks, and pep rallies at about 11:20. So we'll make it back to some class and then go to pep rally and ready to go down to Haskell.
Well, 90 Country John, KLGD1069.com. Listen, as the Tigers. Again, appreciate it, guys. Best way, take advantage of it as a senior and see what happens. So appreciate it. I'm sure I may see you on the basketball court down the road as well. Again, that's the Anson Tigers. When we come back, more Hodgepack, sports life, and everything in between. Whoops. There we go. We just accidentally skipped commercial. It's Facebook for us.
But see, it turned out so good. It's cute. So,
Oh,
yeah. Yes, good luck. Good to see y'all.
Yes, sir.
See y'all.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you for coming in.
Sure.
See y'all. Well, and then of course we'll get a picture of John, but that one, I think usually Cassie takes that one.
Oh, yeah.
Like, John is like one of the faves. I'm like, honestly, he could come and do a whole, like, I know, he's the best. Okay, are y'all going into Ranger talk?
We'll talk a little bit about it and move on and a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Could have got up early, I guess. John ate breakfast at the club.
Yeah.
I'll be talking to the breakfast and trip tomorrow. We'll be out at what cracks.
We're early tomorrow.
I'd like to move up the leaderboard just a little bit, put tea time back.
Yes, exactly.
What the heck? He's like, oh, also one-liners. One-liners. Greg also told me one like 25 to 30. So
That's right, 25, 30.
but I honestly feel like I wish we could just, and we talked about this, like remembering some really good ones where it's like, well, what if we just say, because we have all done it, where we've had some really good one-liners.
If-
Since then.
If it's, I've always said about us saying stupid things.
Yeah, and they do that on a lot of shows, like
Oh,
in
yeah.
the lead-in.
Yeah, it's just, yes.
I don't have the talents to
Mm-mm.
do so, nor the brain way of thinking. I don't know.
You don't
The
have
time.
the brain to do it.
No,
Me either.
my atrophied brain.
Welcome back to the Hodgeback Sports Life and everything in between. Appreciate Malachi Hunter and Coach Wheeler from Anson.
Malachi Hunter sounds like a cool name.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's serious. I wouldn't want to face off against him.
Oh, which one?
Malachi. All sound strong, but
He just seemed kind of laid back though. And
I don't
then
know. I think there's some fire in there.
and then Hunter again. You may know Shay Fagan. Anyway, his son was having a great year. Injured, broke his collarbone, and so Hunter having to take on that. But if you've got some guys that can go, it makes it a lot easier. And honestly, I guess it's the week of the backup quarterback,
Yeah.
not only in high school but also in the NFL and everywhere. So we'll talk more NFL and we'll talk more college football and all that.
I'm gonna remember that. If I ever need an alias, it's gonna be Malachi Hunter.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I'd have to learn how to spell Malachi first, but I think
there's a chance that
Malachi.
yeah.
Have you ever seen it? A lot of times
Well-
it's like, can Malachi come in front, babe? That's Malachi.
Malachi.
Hey, Ron, Balake, listen.
Exactly.
Sorry,
Jake Wellen.
I just derailed in my mind a little bit. Had a funny remembrance of someone saying Carlisle, and I was like, Carlisle, what? And I was like, and then I was like, oh, Carlisle.
Yeah, there really is no reason for us to be there.
Yeah.
You know, and again, I know, again, sports like when people started doing words and felt it, but it is silent. Why?
Why? I don't know. I don't know.
Any English teachers on your way to teach in the, on the way to school, get ready to do all, please explain to me why anything should be.
There's lots, because this just reminded me of a conversation I had with one of my sons recently about the word read, which is also red, which there's several ways to spell red, and it is very confusing.
And
Yeah.
phone. It's like, it's silent. They're like, it should be an F. Well, it's not.
Yeah.
The PH really does do some.
How do you know? I have no
Right.
idea.
One of the things that's led the right way is the Texas Rangers had a great, and there, you know what letter was silent in theirs? Silent in theirs? W. The win was a with a great opportunity, and some people say in the bed. They
Yeah, W.
yeah,
Uh,
they wet the bed.
yeah, that was a just utter disappointment of that 3-game set in Houston, where they have the opportunity to really make a move to solidify a solid chance of making swept. Getting swept. Also, the Houston, the so was in Houston for another season, and it was Tuesday night. They had runners on base. Just it was just gut. There was a chance it died. Before that game was even over. If you were paying attention on X to some of the Rangers beat writers, it was like they were already writing the eulogy for the season. So it's all but all with 9 games left. But I've said it ad nauseum. It mattered, and it still technically matters.
Yes.
Like if they're 5 games out with 9 games to go, it would take like angels in the outfield miracle to make the playoffs. But stranger things have happened. But they've got 79 wins. So a few more wins, so they guarantee that they are above 500 for the season. Have a winning record to go into the off season and hope for next year. So that's that I have never. I said this the other day. This is not hyperbole. I've been a Rangers fan, like actively paying attention since the 90s. And this team here has been really like the second most disappointing season that I remember watching. 2012 was the other, and I'm not sure which one is worse. I've been trying to figure that out. Because if you remember in 2012, they just series had that same team coming back and really dominated. They collapsed and they lose in the first round of the playoffs, which was a 1-game playoff at that time. And so that one was gut wrenching because I just had such high expectations. And then this year was just a roller coaster all year.
I joked last night. We were talking, and I said, Josh literally had times where he was done, and everybody's like, "No, get the paddles clear." But he's back. Now I'm on now.
That's exactly right. It's just been there's at least 3 times in this season I've given up and said, "Oh, this one's over," and then it's like, "Well, it's not over yet." So maybe we'll have a 4th time, but not good and definitely playing out the string. So there's like it. We could at least end on a high note. Cleveland comes, or we go to Cleveland for the final 3 games, and they are making a move in the Central to try to catch the Tigers. So you can always play spoiler in their endeavor. So there's something to root for.
Well, and again, the Texas Rangers are right now 79 and 74, trying to find a way to maybe have that miracle moment to find a way postseason. Most likely, not saying it couldn't, crazy happen. So now as we start looking, I think, and again, I've watched some, not a ton. I think the whole World Series champion is wide open.
Wide open.
And so I think that'll be interesting. And then because you look, Toronto looks like they're going to very much possibly win. The Cleveland's closed. Seattle and Houston are going to come down to the wire on winning the West. And so it could go anywhere there. Phillies, right now, the Phillies have clinched the East. The Brewers, Cubs have clinched playoff spots. And then you've got the Dodgers and Padres battling it out in the West. So I think it's going to be wide open to the end. And then to kind of finish this, give thoughts on where does Kershaw fit in the scheme. Well, go back. Do we have any fear that Bochy checks it in?
I mean, that's one of those things that is completely up in the air. This is the last year of his contract. He hasn't signed it. I feel like that fire that and this little run that they went on before the wheels just came off, it looked like he was really having fun managing the baseball team. And so it's a coin flip, and it's one of those things I've kind of thought about it. Whichever way it goes, I'm fine with it. You know, I would love to have him back because he truly is one of those people that, especially just the way his voice sounds and stuff, I just like listening to him. And he obviously retiring. Kershaw's just walk into the Hall of Fame pitcher years. It's like it's just a matter if he's going to be unanimous or not. And Bochy is the same. Already, like, just waiting to unveil it. I would love to have him back, but I have no idea how that's going to play out.
Well, again, the Rangers going to end the season, figure it out, in and out. Again, Major League Baseball postseason will be around the corner. When we come back, Misty's bag and an opportunity for you to play some golf in the dark. We'll talk about that. Katie go with y'all next week?
No. It'll just be me and Emerald. We'll leave Thursday like at 1. I'll be in Stephenville tomorrow. I was going to go tonight and we were going to take some of the volleyball girls and watch the game. But there are no hotels because it's Tarleton's family weekend. And it's like, I mean, you can't get an Airbnb, you can't get anything. Because we were all going to go down, get a hotel, take them to the game. And then they've got a tournament tomorrow, volleyball tournament one day in Stephenville. But instead, now we get to know.
We're gonna do that on Sunday.
So,
We play baseball at Stephenville Sunday morning at 8.
yeah, us too. We played 8, 9, and 10 are our games. Which, I mean, you know, we get up early, but I'm like, it's a Saturday. Like, no. And we just thought that'd be so fun to take the girls to the game since Wiley's playing Stephenville. But we should have looked earlier, and it just kind of snuck up on us. And we kind of all, you know, several parents were like, hey, let's go down the night before.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, yeah, there's just no way. Like, there's no hotel available. So.
I'm sure they're short-changed on hotels. I mean, Abilene has plenty, but it happens here.
Oh, of course, yeah. Hodge's shoes are so cute. Did you see them with the purple? Like totally rock those. No.
Ironically, or not ironically, frustration. I don't know what word I would use, but I heard that too.
But you could always wear your Pac-Off hat.
That still is gotta be one of the funniest things ever. Did you see Mulligan's got some that are upside down?
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That conversation about the upside down hat.
It's in the vault. It was a good one.
Down.
So is that what you think we should do? It should say Hodgeback upside down? Yeah, yes. And then what I love about Misty is when she realizes something's not make fun of, she, I can't even do it, but it's like that stuff is happening, the laugh kicks up a little bit and the head goes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I was making fun of her for a solid like minute. She didn't even realize she was being.
No, and I was like, wait, what? Jerks. Oh, that was a good segment.
I'm leaving Stephenville. I don't know the rest of it.
I was like, is that a real song?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh,
Kyle Park.
never heard of it.
Sounds like Herman Frye.
Yes, he does.
Well, you should listen to it. So you're leaving
Wow.
Stephenville. You should.
Wow, I will have to turn it on.
It must be just the right time for one of our favorite moments, favorite time of the show to open up Misty's bag.
It is time for Misty's Bag, brought to you by Mulligan. Big weekend next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend at Mulligan. But we want to definitely start talking about this. We've mentioned it a couple times before. They're having a global golf tournament. September 27th at Cattle Barons Ball, which society, they're going to have giveaways throughout the event. The first 9 holes are played at 6 p.m. Second at 9 p.m. Music. It's $200 for a 4-person team. And so go to Mulligan's Facebook page to get all of the details for that. It's going to be fun. We've talked about this before. We asked each other if we've played in something like this before, but I'm really looking forward to this. I think anytime we can bring something different to Abilene, it's just a lot of fun.
Are you playing?
I will not be participating in that. Actually, I believe I will be at the case. It's also the same night, but we're kind of spreading the love. I think Clay may do one. We love that night to make sure we can hit both of those.
I think may look at getting it. Do you think it'd be fun?
Yeah, definitely a team.
I mentioned this before, but I was glow in the dark golf ball event before, and it was extremely fun. But
Fun. Played in golf. Me and for Young Lives. Did a great job using this facility to help raise money for a ton of nonprofits in town. So get you a team and go hit a ball and glow in the dark.
Yeah, it's going to be so fun. So shout out to Mulligan's for always. All right, the question of the week is, what's your biggest pet peeve in sports?
Oh, I thought you were just going to say pet peeve period, and I had one I could.
I mean, throw it out there. Let's hear that one too.
Well, so I put it in the deal the other day, and we didn't get to it, but when we were coming back from Ruidoso, that has nothing to do with sports, but when we were coming back from Ruidoso, it was Labor Day weekend, and everybody needed gas to come back to Texas. So we're in different cars. I drove, surprised Tracy, all the things. And father-in-law gets a slot. Brother-in-law gets a slot. That pull behind a car that clearly would pull behind. And they went inside, which when you're done on a day like that, when it's packed, you pull up into a parking spot. So then, not only do they not pull up into a parking spot, they get in the car and sit there like they're mapping out maybe their life, planning their, route. I pull up a little bit, just got to let them know, hey, sometimes never move. I empty had to go. Todd finished getting gas, and I went. When you get done with gas, pull up.
That was bad.
And I almost drove away with the gas thing in my truck because I was pretty ticked off. Anyway,
All right. Well, that would have been nice.
no, thank God I did.
That is a pet peeve.
Get moving.
Yeah.
Pet peeve in sports. Now, slow golf play wears me out. Let's go. Slow golf play. Let's go. You ain't even in today, this weekend, playing for some people are going to be playing for some money. Wears me out. Slow golf play kind of drives me crazy.
All right. Well, I've got several, but I get very frustrated. Cliche announcing. You know, like I'm trying to think of a specific example, but when you're watching a game and someone says something, you know, that's just so overly simple. I can't think of a great example right now. Like you just hear, you know, I don't know. I wish I could find it in my mind what I'm trying to remember, but
I know what you're talking about.
You know, it's just like.
I think one, and it's not necessarily a cliche, or maybe it is that when you could tell, like the announcers calling the game, know that the first half was a domination of one team, and they'll try to convince the listeners, like, you know, they had some bad breaks. They're very much still in this game. I'm like, no, they're not. They're down 38 to nothing.
You're everyone turn off the TV.
Yeah, so like, no, it's pretty much over, sir. Speaking of, you know, of course, Chris, poor guy, he's also been flying somewhere to call football occur like a few days going back and forth. Then last Monday they had and that poor guy, you could hear it in his voice, like he needed a break, and so yeah, he was tired. You got one?
Yeah, I think mine is. I mean, I've got a couple, but I think one that comes to mind is whenever you're watching football and it's like a terrible throw. The receiver was never going to catch it, and the defender's like, you know, waving their arms like, no chance. Like I had something to do with it, and it's like
100%.
Babe, you had nothing to do with it. The quarterback literally threw it into the stands. But it's like they come away from the receiver, and it, you know, the camera goes to them.
The other deal is when somebody scores a touchdown to 58-7. The 7 is the guy that scored the touchdown for their touchdown life, and they go ahead and do it. Yeah, just because you make it 58-7 from 58-0, I'll do that dance for another time.
Yeah,
that goes right there with hitting a home run when you're down 6 runs.
Yes. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're chipping it away at it, and now you're only down 5. That one that Misty said that when you have nothing to do with it.
Also, part of that is like when they celebrate their defensive call, but it's pass interference.
Yes.
You know, like they're celebrating and the flag's coming in.
And then they're like arguing, and then they watch the playback, and it's like obvious. And then they're still arguing. I'm like, let it go.
That is another one, is that when they think there's no way they fouled in basketball, and pass. They do. They literally become like trying to convince that no, there's no way. I'm like, but every stadium now, for the most part, has a pretty big screen. Everybody's seeing that you did it.
Yes.
And why don't you just admit it?
Yeah.
That you deliberately had a pass interference call.
Because
that happened the other night in, I don't remember which Monday night game, but there was a pass. It might have been the Cowboys game, honestly. Throw it, whoever it was, but the defender was like going crazy in the stands, and little did you know there was a patrol pistol.
Yeah.
It's just funny. I get it because they have several games to go to and things like that. Watch the high school football, like, kind of recap and rundowns that, they have, and there's like, they show some plays from a game and it's like this team scores or that team scores or whatever. And so you're watching the highlights. And then when the final score they show at the end, it was 55-7. It's like
They show the highlights of like one of the local teams. Like the only highlights they get are highlights of a specific team, and you're watching it. You're thinking they're the winners.
right.
Yes.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
100%,
It's like
yeah.
you see a few plays, and the one we see those on the replay, but they lost 35-14. And it's just like, oh, like
Yeah, that's a bit of a spoiler alert on that. No, but if you've got one, if you got a sports pet peeve, set them this way. Corey Jenkins, I can't hit a golf ball in the daylight. Maybe I'm seeing it too well. So that's what you need. If you're good at daylight golf, you're in luck. Maybe.
I think I might do better.
And I had this thought about that. The course there at Mulligan's has plenty of opportunity to lose a golf ball. How many glow in the dark balls are available?
Well, my question is, when a
Good thing he's a friend of the show.
when a glow in the ball goes in the water, do you think like fish and turtles are wigging out like
Probably so.
like aliens are real? I mean, I don't know.
That whole pond is going to be like glowing by the end of that tournament.
Good stuff. So get you a team, sign up for the Glow in the Dark golf tournament next week, September 27th at Mulligan's. Be a lot of fun. You'll want to be a part of that. When we come back, we'll kick off hour number 2, and what a fun weekend of college football and a big weekend for the Red Raiders. Big 12. Baylor's got a big one. College football, our Tyler Cagle law firm. College Football Report right after this.
I know, I'm with you though on the announcing. Sometimes it's just so cringy. You're like, how do you get paid for this? Like just
Well, and like I said,
or the bio wears me out. Like sometimes.
I couldn't think of a good example, but it's like when the after sport and the announcer is almost just like, just yeah, it cut off during the
Boys.
yeah. I reset it, but there's a dead spot for a few seconds there. Because it's, sitting in there, and then I realize that it's off, and you're like, oh no, like.
Reach out to Tammy and her team for if you need to do something different with the one you got. Reach out to ColemanBank.com. Appreciate Tammy and her team taking care of us. But now it's time for our Tyler Cagle law firm college football report. Tyler actually will be our guest host next week. Looking forward to having him in studio. Josh, last week we had, and Misty, we had some really good games. And really, I feel bad, and we've talked about it. And, you know, a couple things. One, Georgia steals one from Tennessee. Tennessee had a chance to, you know, get the better of Georgia. They do not do it. A&M, a huge win over Notre Dame last week.
That one was super exciting.
Really good game.
Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech
over
beating Clemson. Yeah.
I almost texted you to say, hi, friends.
Yeah,
How are you feeling?
It's one of those. And of course, Dabo and Brian Kelly have become the press conference people that, you know, basically Dabo, I don't know if y'all saw it, Dabo went off on how, you know, I'm not going anywhere. I'm only 55. You know, if I'm not coaching here, I'm going to coach somewhere. I'm too young to retire, which he's made plenty of money to do so. But all the talk leading into this season was Arch Manning and Cade Klubnik as your Heisman runners. And now that's not the case.
Nope.
Oklahoma's playing well, but it's just been so fun to see this take place. But talking to a buddy of mine that's a big Texas guy, feels like is Arch the guy, or is he already a bust? It's even really happened.
We talked about this a little bit, I guess, after the first week when they lost to Ohio State. I mean, as much as I can feel sorry for someone who's already made millions of dollars to play football and he has not really accomplished anything, as much as possible, I feel sorry for him. Like, it's not his fault.
The pressure of
he may be overrated, and he's just started playing, you know, like taking the reins, running the whole thing, you know, being the starter. So I'm not at all like
now the thing that's
writing the end of his career, you know, but
the thing that's not his fault is the pressure that came with it.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
11 for 25, only one touchdown, one interception against UTEP, because here's deal. They have not played anybody that they haven't got it done. I mean, they beat San Jose, UTEP, and now they've got Sam Houston this weekend. And Florida is their first SEC contest, and Florida right now, they're not anybody great. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes from Texas. It'll be interesting to play this out. But I think this weekend there's no doubt. Probably we've got games to pick later, but the Big 12, it's a big weekend.
Oh yeah, it's a very big weekend. Not a Big 12 matchup, but a rivalry matchup in Fort Worth. SMU and TCU play. We get to kind of see does SMU, team that started out in the top 25. TCU has looked good, but it's like, what do you really make of that UNC matchup that just went wheels off immediately for Belichick and his crew? So that's one that should be interesting. And then Arizona State comes to Waco to play Baylor. How good is Arizona State? Like they obviously had the run last year, but their team is still looking for identity. Baylor has had ups and I'm obviously hopeful they come home and going to play Utah. Had good, obviously very well equipped as far as the roster. It's also
it's an early game.
Well, that's what I was going to say. And it's also a 10 a.m. start.
Yeah.
In Utah.
Yeah.
And
we've been talking about this. Of course, again, living here, there's a lot of Tech fans. I think it benefits Tech, and this is why. And Cannon, the guy that I'm playing the 500 in, he's an A grad, got to go on an amazing trip. I don't know if we talked about this last week. Cannon got selected. He won the 12th Man Foundation triple. Him and 11 buddies got to go watch the Notre Dame game last week. Big picture.
Awesome.
Anyway, but into Raider Alley, they call it, with tailgating. It's a night game. Different than the atmosphere can be at 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock game. I think it's not as crazy. I'm not beating are used to it. They love being up there. My cousin
I
Benny.
don't know. They coming from the Pac-12. So.
But they're playing a early game where breakfast is still going to be served at most places in town, but this, to me, the reason I think this is such a huge game, just like even for Arch week 1 was, they're 3-0. Oregon State is their only used to be Power 5 team that they played. They're playing on the road against Utah. You're going to find out how good you really are. 17 in the country. Baron Morton from Eastland, he's got 920. Adam Hill, Albany kid, he's having a good year. He's, so I think it's going to be interesting to see how well Tech plays today, or not today, plays tomorrow. I think that's the game that eyes have got to be on.
Oh yeah, to me, I'll be tuning in for sure. I mean, we'll be in Stephenville, but I'll be having it on my phone as I'm watching my daughter play volleyball. But no, Hodge, you're exactly right. This is where the rubber meets the road, and we're about to see what the Red Raiders are definitely made of. And see, I think worry about them playing in the morning. I have a little bit different take. I mean, obviously we can get down to 8 point down, but I don't know, there's an enlightenment. I wonder if that is going to not play in their favor.
You think
A little bit different.
on a loud environment in Utah tomorrow hurts Tech?
Per se, I just don't. I don't know that that's where they thrive most, and so it'll just be interesting to see what they end up doing. And then obviously they've had a couple games already where we've had some weather delays, so who the heck knows what's going to happen tomorrow?
Well, I'm with Hodge on it. I do think that the loud, raucous night atmosphere helps the home team. You know, like if you take away whatever home field advantage you can reel away. Nobody wants to play football at 10 a.m.
No.
I mean, like you've got your routines and everything that you go through. So what time do you have to wake up? You got to, if you're Tech, you're flying in, you're doing the whole hotel thing. You got to move all that regimen up to where what are you waking up at 4 a.m. Like I don't think it's like conducive to sharp football. But I guess it's conducive to we need a good game to play on the 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, whatever time zone. It's definitely a must watch football game if you're at all college football. It doesn't matter if you're a Big 12 fan, a Texas Tech fan. It's the game to watch.
It's like anything else, like golfers. They've got a routine. Pro golfers, they've got a routine, probably college golfers even more. When they get to the course, when they do their stretching, when do all that. Now you're having to configure all that schedule and change it.
Right. It's completely mapped out. I mean, how many hours before the game your stuff starts? They're not going to change that because the game is so early. It's just going to be an early start.
I just wouldn't be surprised if it takes Tech longer to get going at playing the 10 o'clock game.
Yeah,
I guess that's my point to all of that. Like, I just don't think that they're just going to come out firing like we've seen them so far. Again, different teams. They play different teams. This is the game that they're actually going to have some competition, or a little bit more competition. So that's my point is they may struggle in the first half to get going. I hope I'm wrong, what I think.
It'll be interesting. It'll be the first real test for the team. Again, the best team that money can buy. Again, that's our Tyler Cagle college football report. Be sure if you need a criminal defense attorney, he is your guy. Tyler Cagle, check him out. He'll get you taken care of, and he'll represent you well. When we come back, the NFL season, the Cowboys get win number 1 in a crazy fashion. Teams are 2-0. Teams are 0-2. A lot of injuries in the quarterback rooms all across the NFL. We'll talk more right after this.
Hello, y'all.
Good morning,
How's everybody? Hi.
Hello there,
Hello. Hey, Mom.
We're opening.
With all the, it came in as a newsletter from the foundation. Immediate email, check your spam. If not, I'll forward it to you. Okay. But it has all the materials that you and I were talking about. It was a little late because, so we've been a little bit trying to do some things, and it's great. Like it's all fine. She's gonna go do something different, but that's why it was good. Yeah, and if you scroll, gotcha. It's kind of in the middle. It'll say like resources, so I wanted you to know that it is there. So I'll be right back.
This is John's radio show to do this week. We were on our way here this morning. He was like, oh, good, we finally get to go see my favorite people.
How you doing, man?
All right.
Good. Good to see you.
All right. Doing well. Doing well. Good to you.
How are you guys?
Big 3:30. Big 5. I think I know you're good.
Yeah, well, I think you're gonna be surprised. Again. How are you doing? Been good? Good.
That's good. That's good.
Everybody-
More the
hey.
merrier.
We need supervision, I can assure you. I can assure you. I can assure you. We need supervision.
I always looking at stuff as we're talking, randomly go so slow I can't. But I click on. I was trying to see so far this year, like, and hit the. All right, I won't talk about that.
No.
Yeah, we're like, we know who to call. Wonder who you're gonna pick. The day that John like picks the Cowboys for a win and he's not like running a fever or something.
Oh, yeah, no, he will be, yeah, he'll be ill that day. We need to check on him. Yeah, we definitely would want to check on him. That's funny. Okay, we're taking our trash in. Real zeros. Like, wait.
That's why it's on there.
Yeah, I figured. Little.
Playing a.
Yeah, one high school.
Yeah, we try to do a little of all if we can, depending on the week. Try to pick some more exciting games maybe that people are interested in. But some weeks it's hard because there's garbage games on. So it's attendance, but Josh does a good job of trying to share the love and find.
It is time you're thinking between out here on 106.9 the Country Giant. Be sure you check out Jones in the Morning for KB. Spinning some tunes and Greg this afternoon. Last week, Cowboys won a crazy win number one crazy game. I'm sure that Larry did not like watching game film. Cowboys got win number one with a big, exciting 40-37 victory over a rival in the New York Giants. Again, Russell Wilson looked pretty good for that game, except for the one interception. But Aubrey
Continues to be our most valuable player.
Yes, I mean, if whatever he walks in says I want, you get it to him. But Josh, you mentioned it earlier, and again, Russell Wilson was the leading passer in that game. He goes for 450 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a costly interception. Should have won, could have won, maybe could have stole one from the Eagles. Basically, we talked about the Georgia-Tennessee. What Philadelphia did to Dallas 2 weeks ago, getting that win, is what happened with Tennessee, except Dallas was the road team. Dak's playing really good.
Very, very good.
And that's a big compliment. I mean, Josh has kind of been off
I'm
the
anxious
Cowboys
to see how long
train.
it's going to take for Greg Austin to text me, because he's not a Dak bandwagon guy at all. But Dak is playing really good.
I said it when I walked in this morning because I am wearing a Dallas Cowboys hat, and so Hodge was like, "Are you back on the Cowboys train?" And I was like, "No, I'm on the Dak Prescott train." And I know you could have Jalen Hurts obviously in this argument, but I think Dak Prescott's the best quarterback in the NFC. And I have not made that statement before. I've always thought he was in the conversation in that top 10 quarterback realm. But the way he has played so far this season, it's been. I told you before the season started that he was going to have a good year. because he didn't get hurt, the Cowboys were going to have at least an opportunity. I just not have. He's really good.
He is playing really well. And I'll tell you another thing he started to do was pre-ankle is being mobile.
Yes.
He moved around a little bit. Even this past week, I was watching it on my phone, getting ready for an event there in Rotan, but really started to become mobile. Now, I am going to say I need to look. I do not know because I didn't catch this part, but I just know he was out the rest of the game because they talked about return. What is Cavante Turpin's situation? How bad did
I haven't followed up on that. I know he did leave the game, and that was because he's a game changer more in the offense and things so far this year. So
and he is a threat with the new change of the kickoff rules. He is a threat to be able to go not only score but have good field position each and every time.
Says he's supposed to play against the Bears after the neck injury.
He's back.
Positive
and I tell you, we're George Pickens becoming valuable, and he has and I think it's pretty accurate. Cowboys obviously will pick it a little bit later, but I think the Cowboys have to start playing better defense. I mean, you can't just let somebody neighbors is really good. Neighbors is really good. One thing I was frustrated with, it ended up working, but on one of the last drives, they stopped going. They were going to Tolbert. Like, why are we not going to CeeDee Lamb or Pickens? And then, but when they needed something, delete neighbors. They didn't care you knew it was coming. They were going to throw it to. So talk about that more when we get fixed. O's legit. Who do we think? And one of the things that we look at that is who really are 2-0. Who do we feel like we confident? Of course, now you can put the Bills at 3-0. Very confident in them. Who are some that you're confident in, either the 2-0 or the 0-2 standings in the NFL?
Confident in the Eagles.
Yeah.
So that's and the Bucks. I am confident with the Bucks 2-0 start. Not confident in the Bengals area of Burrows. So
I think it's going to be interesting. Of course, Jay Browning came in and played really well after Joe got hurt. He's got talent. I mean, it's kind of like it's similar to what we looked at, and I'm not trying to compare the Anson Tigers to the Bengals, but you heard Hunter talk about how we've got good receivers, we got a good line, we got all these things. If I could just go execute. Jake Browning with the Bengals, when you've got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Brown at the running back position, they're going to be pretty competitive. So I do think that's an interesting one. To me, I think you cannot look at 2-0 and not be curious about the Indianapolis Colts.
Well, the Colts are one of those 2-0 teams that I'm not on the bandwagon of. But it's and maybe it's just because I'm biased against Daniel Jones being the starting quarterback and not thinking that he can keep it going.
Will the real Daniel Jones please stand up? Yeah, I don't think they're legit. A legit 2-0 team.
But see, I think what benefits them is that the division that they're in, Taylor, Michael Pittman Jr., running back that you used to always run a draft first. Beginning of the year, my bold statement was Daniel Jones will be and if you look, they've kind of done and so we believe the 0-3 Dolphins are legit. That the Browns are 0-2. That's that game last Monday night was a fantastic game, and I'm going to tell you, I think Baker Mayfield is playing unbelievably well. He's playing like he was when the Browns were good.
Yeah.
Because there was a time when he led them, and he was on every commercial for that insurance company, and they did a great job with it. He had them playing well. The Texans, I don't know. I think it's a struggle. Now, what helps is that they lost to the Bucks.
Right.
I mean,
and it was a competitive game.
Yes.
It wasn't a blowout. It was competitive. So to me, them being 0-2, that easily couldn't have been or shouldn't have been the case, I guess, in that game.
They're 0-2, but they played two good teams.
Exactly.
Two teams that I picked within their divisions.
Yeah.
And so, but it is 2 losses, and the Colts have 2 wins. If they want to.
And the Texans now, of course, they're there without Joe Mixon. And Chubb was playing well and all that. But so they go to Jacksonville this week, and then they have the Titans coming to town. And then it doesn't get any easier because then they go Ravens, Seahawks, 49ers, Broncos, and again the Jaguars. So I think they've got a pretty good feat ahead of them. But you'll know more about them Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they take care of business against Jacksonville, you'll know more about them.
And then they play the Titans, who are 0-2, and I think they're a legit 0-2.
Yeah, I would agree with that too.
But I will say Cam Ward's not playing terrible. So, but there's an 0-2 team. The Chiefs. How legit is that 0-2? We're seeing what those are doing. Now, granted, what the Chiefs all they've got to do, and they lost to the Eagles, and they lost to the Chargers. Who, how legit is that too? So, but is it like we've talked about until they've actually been eliminated? Do you throw in the towel?
No, you don't. And they play the Giants this week, and I'm not sure. That is one of those intrigue, I guess, because of how well the Giants played against the Cowboys. And I don't know if the Giants can repeat that type of performance.
Mm-hmm.
Like we talked about Russell Wilson, and I'd mentioned this previously, and he had that really bad interception, but other than that, he played very well, and Russell Wilson looked like that borderline Hall of Fame guy that he has been up until the past couple of years.
And he's one of the best deep ball throwers still in the league at his age.
And so can the Giants gain any momentum out of having a game like they had against the Cowboys, and they go home and play the Chiefs, and how? So that's one to pay attention to.
I agree. And then you got everybody in the NFC West are 2-0 except the Seahawks, and the only reason that is because they had to play somebody in the NFC West. But the 49ers, the Cardinals, and the Rams all 2-0. And I really do. One of the things that they were talking about a lot this week was, who would you rather have, Matthew Stafford or Jalen Hurts? Who would you rather have?
Well, Jalen Hurts, but and that's just because Stafford is on the end of his career. But
yeah, I like Jalen too.
Yeah, and then I picked the Rams to win that. I think the Rams are the best team in the NFC West. The Cardinals are one less 2-0 team. I'm surprised with the Cardinals being 2-0. I don't think they're a real contender. And the 49ers have a lot of questions, and then Purdy being injured, and that's going to make that a tougher one for them. So again, just an interesting game. Two 2-0 teams. Which one is the real 2-0 and which one is not?
Yeah, and I think another one that is going to, and if he keeps playing well and all those things, are the Green Bay Packers at 2-0. How good are they? The very tough division. Minnesota now, J.J. McCarthy's out. He's not playing this week. Carson Wentz is playing. It is the game of backups coming this weekend. So that is the NFL. When we come back, one of our favorites is going to join Misty on the mic. We're going to pick some games, and hopefully I do a little bit better. Picks are coming. John Keedy in the house. We'll be back right after this.
Last week was the worst week of picks, but like overall
It was,
that we've ever had.
God, it was terrible.
Yeah.
So terrible.
There was,
Oh my God,
Evan
I
got
just
7.
My picks have, usually I'm pretty.
Are you going to the restroom
Josh
again?
and I- yeah. Or do you need to go? I feel like Josh kind of talked. Probably talked. Kind of talked. Probably talked. So bottom line, like my picks have just been terrible. Like I don't know what I'm doing. It's also I feel. I don't know if you feel this way. Am I just thinking this, or is this true? Does it seem like there's more injuries time, like right time last year? Like I feel like there's a lot of big injuries.
I agree there.
I don't know. I just am like, I feel like, oh, they're which Turpin, just because he has positive doesn't mean Shotty's gonna, the Shotty said, we'll see, basically. Like, we don't know for sure. We're not ruling it out, but we're not for sure saying. It's just he did have a positive report where he could play if they want to allow that, but we don't know if they will or not, so. I've never noticed this. It's probably been there forever. That on the wall. Is that like our OSHA?
Yeah.
Like whatever we
It's
have
gotta
to,
be posted.
yes, something's gotta be posted. I am ready for it. Ready for your commentary with it. I love it.
Wait, I had some comment. No, I.
Bring it.
I had, I'd say the most of the end game.
Okay. We need to ask, I'll tell Hodge, we need to make sure and ask John the back.
It's, do you have a sports pet peeve?
What's the technique?
Yeah. Receiver, when a defender gets thrown to, and balls, but he acts like he actually did something and starts doing a dance when he had nothing to do with it.
Celebrations at the touchdown.
There you go, that's your answer. What must you ask it to?
I mean, celebrate like you've been in the end zone before,
Yeah.
as they always do.
All right, so we got dove hunt October 3rd and 4th.
And then pumpkins coming the second week of October.
Taylor Page, primary
I think I'm
sponsor
gonna
for
shock
that
you this
dove
week.
hunt.
Really?
Taylor
I think
Electric.
I'm gonna shock
Okay, I love it. I'm here for it.
October.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Share it with-
Yeah, we will.
What's
Yeah.
The pumpkins will be there the 8th of November, but technically for the
Pumpkin patch kicks off the 8th.
8th or 9th, whichever day.
I'm a celebrity.
I love it.
You really are. Did you hear that? John's third radio show this week.
Oh, wow.
Okay, can I cross her?
Do you want to talk dove hunt stuff?
John's fully prepared.
Yeah, perfect.
I mean, if I need to.
Here, get over here just to be in the area just in case.
I'll let you.
Or, yeah, you'll do it well.
Welcome back to the Hodgeback Sports Life and everything in between.
I have it.
We are excited. It is one of our favorites in is our guest picker this week, and a lot of the stuff to talk about. So let me make sure execute this. Oh, you didn't know, joining us in our Potosi Live studio, helping us with some picks. The right move this week was bringing John in because the Cowboys are playing, and they're not familiar.
Good morning.
Good to have you. A lot of stuff going on at DRI. Training taking place in the next couple of weeks. A lot of things happening at DRI. One of the biggest. Excited about that.
hunt coming up October 3rd and the whole time over at North Oceans Ranch. Everyone look forward to it.
And coming back to the land of the folks is the pumpkin patch.
Pumpkin patch, always a good time. Coming up that week of October, all the way through Halloween or all out.
Which again, pumpkin can be seen right there off of oh my gosh, 277 right. Or that depends on where you're coming from, but
That's a very astute directions.
follow John. He'll get you to the pumpkins and to the dove. Do we still have some rooms for hunters to hunt?
Always.
All right. So what do they need to do? If they want to hunt, how do we need to sign up if they want to do some dove hunting?
You can sign up at driabilene.org or call Cassie or Robert at 325-677-6815.
Josh, have you done some hunting yet?
Just a little bit. Not as my hunting season has not started off well. A lot of activities.
Yeah, coaching baseball and all that. So anyway, it's a great time. They do the heptathlon, good food, great auction items, a lot to do. So get signed up, head over to the website, as Don said, or give them a call. What was the number?
Just shout out to our sponsors, K-Bar K, Triad Building Solutions, Sewell Automotive, Lancium, Taylor Electric, First Financial Bank, and First Bank Texas.
All right, there you go. All right, so get signed up if you're going to dove hunting and get ready again for the pumpkin patch. I know DRI and Cassie and the folks are excited for the pumpkins to head back. I just made up the land of the folks. I don't know really what to call it, but they'll be there. So, all right. So you ready for some picks, John?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right. So let's dive into our picks again. Our winner last week was Evan Harris, and so shout out to Lotto Land and Cattle. They're providing a free appetizer with a Hodgeback. We're getting those vouchers, so we'll get those to you. Evans won back to back or won twice.
He's won twice, and I've driven, I guess. I will say this: there's obviously bragging rights, but it was especially difficult in the Hit on the Show, which goes back several years. Last week was the absolute worst that I have that has ever occurred. I overdid myself last week.
You accomplished it.
It was Evan picked 7 correct, which won the week. There were a few honorable mentions that got 6. I got 6 myself, but it was rough. And so hopefully this week we do a little bit better. And no pressure, John. But the bar set pretty low as far as our guest picker. Last week was rough on Brittany and Coach Joe. CJ in last week here. He probably needs to avoid doing picks anytime again ever.
Try to aim high.
So good at picking football games. Hopefully John is better.
All right. Well, let's dive into the first one, our lone high school game. I'm sure there's a statue or some team picture still of this lady up at Misty. Robert Lee and Blackwell. Misty, who you got?
I mean, I cannot go against the Robert Lee Steers since I went there, so it's RL all the way.
John, who you got?
You know, I can't disagree with such logic like that. So I went with Robert Lee as well.
I'm going Robert Lee too. I don't know how good Blackwell is, but I'm going Robert Lee.
I'm also going with Robert Lee, and honestly, I have no idea about either one of these teams. So it's kind of a coin flip, but since Misty's here, I'll go with that.
Well, that's not ever stopped you before.
He's changing his ways.
Yeah. All right, here you go. Now let's go into the college. TCU, Josh mentioned it earlier. TCU, SMU let one get away. They should have beat Baylor. Baylor wins that game. TCU trying to really probably their first test, because I don't know how much of the test was in Chapel Hill. And ACU played with them a little. I mean, they played with them, but they played ACU. And now they are at home with SMU. I've got TCU. Prove me wrong.
Better of a contest with them than North Carolina.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's a true story. So who do y'all have?
I got TCU winning this game.
I've also got TCU.
Same here.
All right, there you go. Nobody picking SMU. All right, the big game that's going to be having breakfast served at it, Texas Tech and Utah. The first big test for Texas Tech this year, going on the road, playing Utah. Best team, money can buy, all the things that's been out there. Tough one here. I mean, I had Coach Gay ask me all day yesterday, all I want to talk about, I didn't care about golf. Do you really think Tech has a chance? Do you really think Tech has a chance? I think they do. And
Everybody's got a chance, but unfortunately,
This one is tough, but I'm a Red Raiders fan. I've got to pick Tech.
Also, I do think that the way that their offense is going, they got to wake up early, get it rolling. But Texas Tech.
all right, then you got Auburn, Oklahoma. Auburn freeze kind of got them going. Venables is starting to maybe bring OU back, if you will. Should be a great game. What you got?
I got Oklahoma.
I got Oklahoma as well.
Yes, Oklahoma.
And Mateer is starting to lead the Heisman race, if you will. I've got OU as well. Michigan and Nebraska. Just the coach that was at Baylor.
Rule.
Yeah, at home, I've got the Cornhuskers. I'm picking Nebraska.
Michigan,
No, sir.
Michigan's seeing red after losing to Oklahoma. They don't lose 2 in a row. I got Michigan on the road.
I'm going to go with Nebraska this week. I'm maybe going out on a limb there. I don't know, but I'm going with Nebraska.
I've got Nebraska also.
Let's see.
Michigan is you're right, John. Back-to-back losses would kind of be shocking, but Nebraska is playing well and they are at home.
Well, and I think the other thing that you got to look at is Coach Rule is probably back to where he needed to be.
I agree.
The Panthers paid him all that money, and I don't blame him making that money in the NFL. But he's a college guy, was successful at Temple, successful at Baylor, and now we're seeing that in Nebraska as well. Arizona State and Baylor, big game for the Bears to try to get rolling and see who's going to win this Big 12. Such a weird because that doesn't. So you've got for the Bears. I've got Baylor winning.
Agreed, 100%.
Oh, that's 2 big road wins that he's got.
I'm going to go with Baylor at home.
All right, Baylor home. ACU Austin PKL, the wrestler that graduated from ACU Austin P again. ACU played, competed, did some things last week against TCU. I think being at home will help. I've got the Wildcats.
I do as well. And I'm on board that train.
I got ACU as well.
Same.
All right, ACU, that's all our college games. Now we're going to dive into the NFL. Rams at Eagles, a bit of a rematch of last year's snowy game. I don't see it being snowy. Jalen Hurts, 2 great quarterbacks, 2 Super Bowl quarterbacks. I do think this is going to be a big test. And bandwagon, I think, to represent the NFC at the Super Bowl. So I'm hard to pick.
I disagree. I would be surprised to see them in the Super Bowl. I just see Philadelphia.
It's going to be the tough part.
I'm tired of this push. I think the Eagles will win.
Yeah, same. Same.
All right, so I'm the lone Rams. Lions won last week. Lions going to Baltimore. Baltimore is a stud. At the line.
I agree, Ravens.
Yeah. years, but it's the Ravens.
I've got the Ravens picked in this one as well. The Lions are, we talked about it. Can they keep it up? Can they get back to where they were? I think that's a struggle so far this year. Not looking near as good.
Be a big Monday night game. Be a lot of fun to watch that one. And I don't know how good. Again, when you lose two coordinators like the Lions did, you have to adjust to that. All right, now we got the big Cowboys heading to the Bears at 3:20. Back to scheduling. I'm shocked that the Rams and the Eagles are a 12 o'clock game.
You would think it would be the other way around.
Yeah, I would think to be a late game, something different. But the Eagles are not. They're at 12 o'clock. Cowboys and Bears, again, I think we go back to the Bears situation. Can Ben Johnson get Caleb Williams going? Still kind of struggling there. Cowboys.
Being a Bears fan that I am, we got a lot more issues to deal with than Caleb Williams. Our defense just got exposed up in Detroit. We have corners, we have no running game, we have no receivers. I have the Cowboys winning this game.
Oh, wow.
Whoa, gosh, you did say you were going to shock us. Lead picker this
Yeah,
week.
he wants to make sure he gets that right.
I am shocked, John.
Well, I'm shocked by that too, but
It is the Cowboys.
I
all decked out.
know.
But when my kids fill out this list, they make their picks every week. I have to remind them, you have to pick with your head, not your heart. If you're, and so it's hard. I got the Cowboys in this. I said earlier, Dak Prescott is just playing at elite level.
Yeah, I've got the Cowboys. So
I want to ask John a question before you go. I want to know who do you have in the Super Bowl this year?
You know what? The Monday night game between the Lions and Ravens could be a Super Bowl preview.
Yeah, very much so.
I honestly don't know right now.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be very much top heavy. I think it's Lions. I mean, the Bills and the Ravens, AFC. I don't know if there's anybody else really to challenge unless the Chiefs. Something crazy.
See a Bills back in the Super Bowl. Being a Bears fan, I will not watch the Super Bowl.
How legit and how worried before we go to break? How legit do you think? How much concern should the 0-2 Chiefs?
But they got Patrick Mahomes, so they're not 0-2 team. You didn't mention 2 team, which is my Chicago.
You think they're the worst team in the league?
There is no question. They've given up 79 points in 2 games, 73 of those in the last 5 quarters. I think they basically quit through 2 games.
So should they? They're not moving on from Ben Johnson. Do they need to move on for Caleb Williams, or do you think there's so much there to do that there's a lot to talk about?
Well, a lot of people are saying don't give up on Caleb Williams. This is only his 2nd year, but how much more time can you invest in him?
Well, if you don't do very well this year, you'll get a chance to pick a quarterback early again in this year's draft.
We're on our way to possibly get the #1 pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Because if you notice that the Bears schedule, they have not only our division games, we got the Ravens, the 49ers, the Eagles, the Bengals. Even without Joe Burrow, I'm not sure we can beat them.
Yeah,
and the Commanders.
Yeah, you've got a tough schedule for sure. All right, well there you go. John's got his picks in. Go to don't forget to get signed up for the dove hunt and be ready for the pumpkins coming to town. You got anything else, John?
Sign up at DRIAbilene.org.
Oh, there you go. Get signed up. When we come back, we'll send you into the.
Crushed it, my friend.
There you go.
I know. What? It's why you're the quicker than you find it.
It was hard for me to show you.
We got right here, John. Oh my gosh. All we had for breakfast was one piece. Oh, yes, you. Oh, we probably really are going to stop and get breakfast. Yeah.
See y'all.
Bye. They're the best. Love them. He really did shop, but this is why he's so much better. Because I pick with my heart too much, and he is much more logical than me.
So you have a tournament volleyball tomorrow?
Just like a one day. I think it'll be done in like 3. So, but yeah, early morning tomorrow. So we'll have to get up at 5. Collins, the bus leaves at 5:45. So get her up and going, and yeah, it'll be fun. She served really well last night. Been trying to work on her serves and get them stronger, and she's definitely. So it's been fun each week, and they have a fun game. Like we have Kate Reedy on our team, Corey O'Connell. So we have some really good. Our whole A team is like really good. So it's already been a super fun season. We had a really competitive match against Jeanette, and it took all 3.
See y'all. We're gonna send it off. We're gonna send out. Have a great week. See y'all.
That one was fun.